But you want to get the picture on the back. So a little bit,
Okay. It's gonna be all black.
okay. Now pull back. Okay? All right. So thank you for watching the commentaries 1, 2, and 3 regarding 10:9, my poem. I will now read the last 2 stanzas, and they go. Maybe it was the last 3 stanzas. Oh, no, the last 2, excuse me. Okay, here we go. Plus 1 week after posting that picture to IG, I saw that video of the firemen carrying him out on a gurney. Surprised to say the least when I noticed that he was wearing one sock on his left foot. I felt shook. 7 days before his body went limp, I was wearing one sock on my right foot, eating Oreos in my tent. And that's how I conclude the poem 10:9. The commentary that I will add is what I'm talking about here is essentially I saw that Nipsey's body, I don't know if he was exactly alive or if he had transpired, but he was being carried out on a gurney. This video is available on YouTube. And although the paramedics removed removed articles of his clothing, they left one sock on his left foot. I discovered this probably a week after or several days after, his murder. And I was thousands of miles away, as you know, as I've stated, in Oman. And I was just watching all of these videos trying to solve the mystery. Why was this young man taken from us? And the sock caught my eye. It was a very peculiar detail, one that I noticed, and I immediately thought to myself, wow, one sock on his left foot? Why? Why is that there? And then I immediately thought of the photo that I had posted to Instagram a week before, maybe 2 weeks before. No, it was 1 week. It was 1 week before Nipsey was murdered. I took a photo of myself, and I happened to be wearing one sock on my right foot. Why does that matter? That's such a mundane detail. Who cares? Well, for me, it meant everything because like all of these pieces to a puzzle, everything seemed to be fitting together perfectly. And I saw that sock was like a sign saying to me, you have to tell your story, because just as Nipsey had the sock on his left foot, you have the sock on your right foot. And, left and right match. It's a pair. These things go together. Now, as strange as that may seem, let me reach for the mala beads and let me give an example. You can see these beads here. In India, these beads are used to meditate. These are meditation or even prayer beads, and one bead is passed over, and a mantra is stated. I don't know if it's verbally or if it's in your mind, but you use these to meditate. Similar to the rosary and similar to Islam or Muslim prayer beads. Anyhow, there are 108 beads on this particular necklace. And this final bead, the last bead here, this bead connects all of the 108 beads. So 108 represents the number of prayers that one makes. One pass is 1, 2, 3, 4 until 108. So 108 in the maybe Ayurvedic tradition, 108 is a very spiritual number. And the 109th bead connects the entire necklace. And so they call this 109th bead the guru bead because it acts as a connection. Now, the 109th bead does not have any spiritual significance. It's 108 that has all of the spiritual significance because that's the number of prayers one makes. So the 109th bead simply is a connector, simply forms this necklace, creates this necklace. Now, this necklace is a metaphor for who I am and who I see myself as in the story of 10-9. All right. So what I'm telling you is that just as this bead connects this necklace, all of the little details, all of those moments when I saw 10-9, well, they helped form a story. They helped form a story about an individual who, for me, and I think for all of us, was a very spiritual being, a very spiritual person. I'm talking about Nipsey Hussle. Now, why is Nipsey 108? You know, I'm just being very clever here because there are so many coincidences that, as I mentioned in the other video, they fit so well in pocket. You know, what I'm talking about is Nipsey's bus. Nipsey rode the 108 bus down Slauson Boulevard. 108. And so if that isn't a clear message or, you know, a clear connection to the 108 beads on this prayer necklace, I don't know what is. And so, you know, Nipsey's bus was 108. I saw all of these strange things. I saw the number 10-9 the day that Nipsey was murdered. I saw the cross in the sky. I cannot explain the reason I saw that cross on that particular day or how it even got there. But it seemed to all fit in place. And it all seemed to help me tell the story of 10-9. And so finally, you know, how does 10-9 fit in? Well, 10-9 is the connector. It's the guru bead. I'm the guru. I'm the connector. I'm linking all of these dots. And just as I mentioned about the left foot and the right foot, those are another connections between Nipsey and myself, right? To say, hey, he's the connector. He's the guru, connecting all these dots. And then two things that I want to say. One about the Ethiopian church, the Orthodox Ethiopian church, which is located on Slauson Boulevard. I want to talk about that, but I also want to talk about the picture of Nipsey in Japan when he was standing in front. He was standing at the Shibuya crossing in front of the building Shibuya 109 or 10-9. First, I'll address the picture. When I watched Crenshaw and Slauson, A True Story, that music video on YouTube, there's one version of the video at the end of which there's a picture of Nipsey standing at Shibuya Crossing in Japan. And when I saw that picture, I thought, wow, that is the perfect capstone to my story because that really reflects or that really shows the connection between Nipsey, who is 108, the spiritual being, okay, and the guru bead 109, because in that picture, you could see 109 behind him. He was standing in front of that building. So I thought, man, this is perfect. That's a perfect connection. That's a capstone for this whole story that I'm telling. All right. So had I not found that picture, I mean, I don't know what story I would have really. And then the other thing is, it's so fascinating that straight down Slauson Boulevard, right here in Los Angeles, you have at one end the Christian church, the Orthodox Christian, Ethiopian Orthodox Christian church at one end of Slauson. And then at the very other end, at the opposite end, you have the Rolling 60s neighborhood. And it's an interesting metaphor. It's an interesting metaphor for Nipsey and his life. You know, at one end, you have the people who need the message, and at the other end, you have the message. Now, I haven't worked out everything, you know, as to, you know, the significance of the Tewedo church, and, you know, the Rolling 60s at the other end. But I find it so interesting that at either end of Slauson Boulevard, you find these two elements. All right. Now, the last thing I'll say is Crenshaw and Slauson is an intersection. So just as I looked in the sky and I saw that cross in the sky, it was like the intersection of Crenshaw and Slauson at the opposite end, or anchoring one end of the cross. I don't know, it's too deep. I'm getting too, I guess, esoteric. But these are the ideas that that I've been playing with 10-9. Oh, and maybe I'm just delirious. So if so, listen, remember the words of 50 Cent. This ain't serious. Being broke can make you delirious. You know? So it is what it is. I'm no billionaire, but I have $1 billion worth of a story to tell. And that's what this is. And then I'll also invoke the lyrics of Kanye West. Kanye West said, what did he say? I ain't trying to argue his facial features or trying to turn atheists into believers. In very much the same way. I'm not trying to convince anyone of anything. I'm not trying to spread a particular gospel. All I want to do is tell this story, and hopefully some people will say, yeah, I feel you, or that story resonates with me. And that's about it. You dig? So I'm Larry Wiggs, the author of 10-9. This book was conceived from a dream I had, as well as it is a document of a record of all of the, not all, but of many instances where I encountered these three numbers under very peculiar circumstances. And this book explains my conclusion. Why did I continue to see these numbers, and what does it all mean? All right. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed my video. Peace. That was a long video, man.